What's going on, and welcome back to the Beamer Barn, everyone. Today we're going to be practicing something that I would love to get better at, and that's going to be painting. As you can see, the spoiler behind me on my 335i Wagon is completely dead from sun damage. The clear coat's peeling off, it's down to the base coat. So today we're going to be working on some paint on my wagon. We have to remove all the paint off of this spoiler, as well as a few other body parts that we're going to be spraying today. I'm also going to be getting the garage ready using a new method which I haven't tried before. So let's go ahead and start by removing the spoiler, and we'll go from there. There you go. We got that rear spoiler off. I had to kind of remove this box here to get the, I don't know, was that like a heater cable? Something that was in the spoiler itself. But we've got it off now. Here's that little cable I was talking about. And yeah, now we can proceed to removing a couple more pieces off the car. It's pretty simple though. I hope you guys got the gist of it for those of you E91 owners at home. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull some more pieces off the car, and then we'll get to prep. So as you can see, I have the bumper here from my 335i parts car, and I believe this is an aftermarket bumper, and it looks like it was plasti dipped and painted previously. So it should be black plastic underneath, and it's not ABS or anything. This is polypropylene, like, you know, kind of like a flexible plastic. So really nice quality bumper actually, and that's why I think that we're going to paint this along with the side mirror caps and along with the spoiler. And you know, if we don't end up using this, no problem. It's just a great practice run for us doing a bumper, which I've never painted before, but I'm more excited about the spoiler and the mirror caps. So like I said, we're gonna prep the surface now, and what I've got is actually something I bought from the paint shop, and that's this aircraft paint remover. I've used this stuff before, but it looks like they have a new non-methylene chloride compound, and that's supposed to be safe to use on bumpers, plastics, body parts, and obviously the normal metal, you know, that you would do if you were trying to strip down the paint of a car. So I'm thinking this is gonna save us a lot of time. Instead of having to like peel off all the plasti dip here by hand, which would be a real pain in the butt, we're just going to layer on some of this aircraft grade paint remover. Same thing on the mirror caps and the spoiler, and it should be able to remove the OEM paint here, although we just have to basically let it sit and watch the paint peel up, and then we'll kind of like, you know, scrape it off basically, or wipe it off. So let's go ahead and try. I've never tried it before, but let's see what it does, and hopefully it saves us a lot of time. Seriously though, remember to use some serious ventilation when you're doing this, because this stuff stinks. I went and let these sit for about 15 minutes. You saw me wrap them up in plastic, and that's because in the directions it says that if you wrap these in plastic, it'll help, you know, keep the fumes in, help it work a little bit better. So I think the spoiler and the side mirrors, they've been almost 10-15 minutes now. Let's go ahead and unwrap them and then see what the result is, I guess. Well, I'm definitely not seeing as much coming off as I wanted to. You can see here I've scraped off entirely one side, the other side I left it on. I think I'm just going to go ahead and apply another layer here and actually go excessively with it, because that's what it says in directions, is to just use as much, you know, as possible. Basically, you can see the side view mirrors here, they're starting to wrinkle up really nicely underneath the plastic, so that gives me some hope that it's working. The bumper, it's a little hard to tell what's going on there. And this is plasti dip on the bumper, actually, I'm figuring out, so I'm not sure how this paint remover is going to interact with it, although I would think that it should take it off pretty easily. So, all right, let me go ahead and add another layer, and then hopefully we can get this paint off pretty soon, because I want to get to painting. See, this side mirror looks really good, at least the intended result, I believe. So right there, you see, it looks like that is the clear coat. You can see, look at that difference in glossiness from that bubble we just popped. And in other areas, it looks like we've got clear coat and paint all the way down. So, all right, well, what I think I want to do is I want to go ahead and pressure wash these pieces. That way we can kind of get off all that old paint, and then we'll go ahead and start over, rebrush them down. This is taking up a lot more material than I thought it would. So we might have to go to the store and try to get more of this stuff, because this can is almost dead.
Perfect.
So as you saw, we just got off the clear coat with that last strip, so I went and applied another layer. Now we're gonna go ahead and pressure wash the bumper. This is one of those rinse and repeat kind of deals, guys, so I'm gonna save you some of the boring stuff and show you some of the cool montages, and then hopefully we'll have all this paint off in a second. We can move on to the fun stuff. Alrighty, well, update. Here's where we're at. The bumper, it's not looking so good, folks. The plasti dip, it's leaving residue. The paint remover, it's not really working so good on the plasti dip. Even Goose knows it. The other thing is, the paint remover was working too good on the side view mirror. So as you can see, it's kind of peeled off the paint here, but this, it won't come off. Basically, the paint fused to the plastic of the side cap here, and it really looks bad. I think there was one chunk of plastic missing, but anyways, these are completely ruined. Now on to the good news. I have an extra set of side mirror caps that I was able to pull off of the 335i parts car. These are actually even better condition than the ones from the Wagon, so I think all we need to do is kind of sand and scuff these, and then we can spray them and make them match. And then look at our rear spoiler. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. You can see that we were able to get off the clear and the base coat. Now we're just left down to the factory plastic. Even on the edges, it came off from the pressure washer, as you saw. Very little has been left. And I think around the corners where there is a little bit left, I'll just scuff it up, sand it down, and make sure that it's a smooth surface. And you won't see it again, like on the edges, literally. So that means that we are almost ready to start painting. Like I said, I'm just gonna give these a sand. Now for the first time though, we're gonna be taping off the entire garage to make a homemade paint booth. I bought a roll of plastic sheet from Lowe's. It was kind of expensive, but I think it's gonna do us good for a few different paint sessions. We're gonna try to drape it from the ceiling here. I've never done this before, I've only seen people do it, but we're gonna try this out, kind of make a really sealed spray booth, and then we'll be able to spray these small parts. Good thing it's not like anything too big like a car or anything, because I don't think that we're gonna have any active or passive ventilation. So we're just gonna get in here, we're gonna do a few sprays of the base coat, a couple layers of clear coat, and then we'll finish things off, let things dry in the paint booth overnight. And then tomorrow morning, hopefully these pieces will be dry enough for us to install in the car, and then we can get a look at the finished result. So let's go ahead and tape up the garage and get ready for our painting session. All right, now as you can see, we've got this whole place masked off, so there's no chance of overspray on any of my tools or cars, and I think less chance of dirt and debris getting into this area and getting onto our painted surfaces. So you can see I've got my spoiler here, it's taped off, where is it, on the bottom here, so that we retain that black trim, and I've also got it a little bit scuffed up here as well. The mirrors are sanded down and scuffed up, making a nice surface for us to paint to, and now I can go ahead and show you guys our painting setup for the day. So if you want to see more detail about the painting process, I'll put a link to the video where I painted for the first time using this setup, and I had a lot of good footage, but I'm not going to be getting so much footage today because it ended up covering the camera with overspray from me trying to, show you guys what was going on. But anyways, this is my gun here. I'll have a link to some of the pieces in the description below. Here is a adhesion promoter. This is for polyethylene bumpers. This is for plastics. This is to help get more adhesion between the base coat and the spoiler, which is made out of plastic. So instead of using a primer that's made for the plastic, this is something that I want to try, actually recommended by my local paint shop. So we're going to be trying that today on the spoiler. Right here is our clear coat with our hardener for it. This is mixed 2 parts to 1 part hardener. And then here we have our base coat and we have our reducer. This is a slow reducer. The base coat here, it's a single stage base coat, so it's going to come out kind of like satin finish. And then we're going to finish it off with the clear coat, and we're going to do both of those through the gun here. This is a spray can though, so this is going to be really easy to quickly spray the spoiler. So I'm hoping that this doesn't take too much time. I'm going to try to show you guys some stuff if I can, but hopefully in a few clips we'll have the spoiler painted and I'll be able to show you guys the final result. Well, it's the next morning. As you can see, I tore down all the plastics. I finished up pretty late, but I'm pretty happy with the results. I didn't have to do a lot of work between layers, although there was like a goose hair stuck in the base coat, which I had to pull out and then kind of sand down. And then we did another layer of base coat, and then we did the clear coat, and it came out looking fantastic, especially the spoiler. And same thing as the first time that I used this gun. Just look at that clear coat finish. It comes out so natural, like the perfect amount of orange peel. So much easier to clear than using a spray can. Like night and day difference. If you haven't tried using a spray gun yet, definitely get one and try it out. The one thing is though that on the side mirrors here, I did go a little heavy. Unfortunately, with the clear coat, you can see a little bit of the runs here and then more of the runs right here. So little drops. Now those are on the bottom piece. So, you know, it's kind of weird how these get installed because you're not going to see that edge at all. It actually clips onto the mirror, but then there's more plastic around this area. So we'll probably have to cut off that extra clear coat, maybe sand it down somehow to get it smooth, not noticeable. And then over on this one, I just, you know, because of the lighting in my garage, I didn't see that I went a little bit light and heavy on this one. And you know what the problem was I was spraying these side mirrors first, and when I had taken my gun off to do the clear coat, I had accidentally hit my pressure regulator right here, and I turned it low, and it was spitting out fluid rather than misting it. And then once I realized that, I turned the air pressure back up and I got it to mist perfectly, and I just had to layer on the clear because I didn't want it to dry and come out real bumpy because it was like really big drops of clear coat. So I layered it on real heavy to get a nice smooth finish, but because of that, I did end up getting the run. So just learning, you know, again, learning my mistakes and trying to get better each time. The spoiler though came out great. The spots where I had like a couple hairs, you can't tell anymore. But there are, you know, maybe a few fish eyes, some things that could be polished out, I'm sure. But it looks 100% better, I'll tell you, than having that cracking clear coat look, which was totally disgusting before. So now let's go ahead. I think we're ready to bring the car in the garage and install the spoiler and the mirror caps and get a look at it installed in the car and see how good the paint match is.
Perfect.
There it is, all installed. At least the biggest piece here, the spoiler looking good. You can see a little bit of a shade difference actually between the roof and the spoiler here, but my theory is that we just need to polish the car and that'll bring some more depth to the color of the car, and I think it'll match a lot better. It doesn't look like we got like a completely different shade. I mean, at some angles you can't even tell. Overall though, it looked 100% better rather than having that mess of clear coat up here. And although you do see some of the fish eyes and such, you know, from let's say 3 feet back, it looks like just pure glass. The side view mirrors as well look really good, actually even better. You know, you can't tell any difference in the color here, you know, because it's separated from the body by the trim here. This one is the one that I messed up with the runny clear coat. This probably needs to be, well, it definitely needs to be wet sanded, and maybe we can fix that along with the little drops that we had on the rim here. And the driver's side looks even better. We got really nice coverage everywhere, except again for where we had that runoff, that little line where it meets up with the trim of the side view mirror. That we can probably fix again later with some wet sanding. We'll just remove the cap and take care of that. For now though, it looks really, really good. And it's a shame we weren't able to do the bumper, but at least we didn't mess up the one that we had on the car because, hey, it matches, and now we have a car without any peeling clear coat anywhere. So that's going to conclude our video for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching me paint these pieces on my wagon. Like I said, we're just getting the car ready for the car show that's actually exactly 7 days away now, BMW Invasion. It's going to be a little bit less time for you because I'm going to be posting this video on Tuesday, and I think from now on I'm going to be posting videos 2 days a week. If I have extra content, I'll try to post it, but my plan is just to make a little more time for myself and other aspects of life. I want to continue to make great quality videos, and that's what I'm going to focus on, being able to have more time to make 2 videos a week. But at the same time, we're doing a lot of other projects for the business, trying to help it grow, trying to make better content for you guys, a lot of things around that are behind the camera that just require time, and that's all. But I hope you guys don't mind going down to 2 videos a week, and hopefully you guys will enjoy some of the things that are coming to the channel in 2022. So anyways guys, be sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed watching, comment what you think, or if you have any recommendations for my painting skills or setup or supplies, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't yet. As always, I hope everyone has an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.